Well, it's been a rather big year for the royals, and it's not over yet. From the passing of Prince Philip to the drama that is Harry and Meghan, and now a fresh scandal surrounding Prince William. I'm sure Buckingham Palace would prefer to say goodbye to 2021 post-haste, but having said that, who wouldn't? To shed some more light on this and so much more, I'm joined by broadcaster Prue MacSween. Good evening to you, Prue.
Hi, Caleb. I've worn my brooch, but now I'm the royal correspondent for the show. I thought I'd better appear the part.
Thank you, and I've got green and whatever on tonight, so we're all looking very in theme. Now, just very quickly, I'll touch on this because we haven't talked about it tonight. But there are many high-profile people linked to this Ghislaine Maxwell trial, Prince Andrew being one of them. But he's emerged with barely a mention. What's going on here?
Well, they may be tiptoeing around the sexual defence that he's got to mount. Maybe they're concerned about any defamation. I don't know. It's strange because certainly he's lost popularity. I was reading some of the statistics and he's got about 5% support in the UK. So the man is dynamite. I mean, he's someone you just want to lock away, and the Queen's done that. But, you know, he's going to have to face the music, and it's, you know, they've been through a lot of scandals, but this one I just don't see him getting out of unless there's really high-level diplomatic discourse and deals going on.
Now, let's cast our mind back to April this year. I can't believe it was April. My goodness. The passing of Prince Philip. Now, that must have taken such a toll on the Queen. She said at the time it felt like she'd lost a part of herself, and to see those scenes of her sitting in the church on her own with a mask on, it was so sad, wasn't it?
Oh, and such dignity, and the way she held it together. He was her rock, and we saw that with her, a Christmas speech, which really, I think, identified how much she really missed him and how much he meant to her. And while most of us thought he was a bit of a larrikin, clearly he was the cement that held that family together and gave them that sense of fun. And I think, you know, it would have to be one of the worst jobs in the world to be the monarch, and to have someone like him who can just give her a look that tells her, look, these are boring people, but honey, we're going to have a scotch in about an hour in our private rooms. You know, that's the kind of thing you'd think they'd be saying to her to make it all the more bearable for her.
Now, on to everyone's favourite couple, my tongue firmly in my cheek there. Harry and Meghan, from denouncing their royal connections to their multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix, and of course, there was that interview with Oprah. It seems they haven't done much to help their image or their reputation this year. If I have one wish for 2022, Prue, it is that Harry and Meghan just shut up.
Well, mate, go back to the drawing board. It ain't going to happen. You know, they are playing to the US audience. Little girls in America grew up wanting to be a princess. They saw one of them actually bag a ginge. Even though he was ginge, you know, he was a royal. And, you know, all the gingers are going to be after me now, I just know it. But the thing is that they're living this life that, you know, so many people in America who have a real fascination for the royals. When you think, I was looking at some of the figures, and, you know, 23 million people got up just to watch, very early in the morning, to watch Kate and William get married, and millions more watched Diana and Charles get married in America. So while they may be on the nose in the UK and the rest of the world, in America, which is where they're going to make most of their dollars, let's face it, they're doing quite okay. So maybe they just figure, okay, we don't care what the royals think about us. We just want to go on our merry way to make as much money as we can out of them.
Well, just on the redhead thing, there are some very attractive redheaded women out there, Christina Hendricks being one of them. I don't know about the men, I can't speak to that. But we probably shouldn't talk poorly of Harry and Meghan while we're here, lest we end up like the Mail on Sunday over printing extracts of a letter to her father. What a saga that was.
Yes, you know, I've always said to young people, have a look at the parents. Have a look at how they treat the parents, and you will know what your life is going to be like with this potential partner. And frankly, when you look at the family, and to an extent, you sort of understand why they treat her the way they do, because she's sort of a complex character, to say the least. I just think that it's really interesting that she was able to get away with it, and clearly the courts in the UK thought that she did deserve to win that case. But honestly, it's just all of these things are chipping away at the royals. They've gone down this path now of becoming political, which I think is what is really part of the problem with the royals now. That that Charles and William in particular are activists. So they're whereas the Queen was very apolitical, and I think that's why they were allowed to be a little bit aloof. There was a mystery about the royals, but now we see them warts and all, and they polarise people, because if you're not a climate change advocate, if you aren't concerned about housing, if you aren't concerned about all the other things that they are advocating, then they're polarising and disenfranchising a huge part of their potential audience.